Eastridge is a super developing city. Ever since Militia moved here, things have been going up. They got themselves a Topgolf, and now they even got themselves a sidewalk. Things are going up. And if you want to stick around this new hotspot of a town, you got to get your fat ass in shape, or else they're going to bulldoze your ass to Brainerd. So you got to call my man Captain Cranberry at 10-8 Personal Training, unless you want your ass gingerfied out of here. And that number is 951-445-3133. So keep up with the times, keep up with the health, keep up with your good looks, and the fast pace of Eastridge, the growing city that's a super metropolis. 951-445-3133. 10-8 Personal Training. The Bible says, poverty favors those who love to sleep. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it says that. You know who doesn't sleep? Tony Mullins. Tony Mullins is a hard worker. He gets up bright and early in the morning, works out, puts a roof together, then comes to the gym, and then does a few more roofs. He does it so fast and precise, he's like the super roofer man. No, he is the head CEO of Affordable Roofing. That's right. Tony's a hard worker, and he'll build you the strongest roof in the world while the other guys are sleeping. So get your ass up and call Tony and get that roof fixed. 423-593-9605. Again, 423-593-9605. This podcast is brought to you by Brown and Whitworth, the ultimate foundation. You don't even know what it is. You might think it's a house. You might think it's something else. You don't know. Neither do we. Brown and Whitworth. Thank you, guys. This podcast is brought to you by Elite Clean Chattanooga and Pressure Wash It. And they'll hang your Christmas lights. And they'll mount your TV. Steve could reach the tall spots. Because he's tall, of course. He could also reach the roofs. He could clean your roof before you have to call Tony. And the dirt caused it to decay to nothing. Again, Elite Cleaning and Pressure Washing and Christmas lights hanging. 423-389-4771. Again, that's 423-389-4771. Call that number and ask for my man Steve. Welcome to the Militia MMA podcast. This is episode 19. 20. Oh, shoot. Who Let the Dogs Out? Episode 20 of the Militia podcast. And this is a very special episode because for episode 20, we got a man with 20 kids. Chris Gordy.
What's up, Tom?
How you doing, Chris?
Good. Glad to be here.
I'm excited to finally have you on the podcast.
Yeah. Been looking forward to it.
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller, right?
Yeah.
So, Chris, you grew up in Ringgold, Georgia, correct?
I grew up in Flintstone, Georgia.
Oh, yabba dabba do.
Yeah. My grandma's name's Wilma.
Was it really?
Yeah, she lives there.
And you kind of got like Fred Flintstone feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been told I have hobbit feet.
I kind of always pictured you like Fred Flintstone a little bit.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, I've got very wide feet. I've busted through every pair of shoes I own.
I got wide feet,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
Yeah.
You can't wear Nikes, right?
No.
No. It's either Adidas. You can wear Adidas.
Yeah, I've had some Adidas.
They're pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I was doing Fila because they're good and cheap and they work.
I've had a pair of New Balance I like before.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But I don't typically buy shoes. I'm usually a boots guy, but
You got to get wide boots.
I have to get wide. Yeah.
How long does a pair of boots last you?
Usually 1 year.
Are they boots or are they shit kickers?
Either way, it's everything. It's my church attire, work attire, everything.
You wear the boots to church.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I'll go the same boots I wear at work. I'll knock the dust off and wear them at church.
Are you are you when you're at home with your wife Charity, and she's like, Chris, take them boots off. And you're like, no, because they're too hard to take off. And then she's like, well, then get out of bed. Is it like that?
Most of my life, actually, before I met Charity, like that was like the switch for me, because I didn't go to school much. So most of my life, I went barefooted.
Really? You didn't go to school? What? Much?
Much, yeah.
You went, where'd you go to school?
I went to Fairland Elementary on the mountain, Lookout Mountain.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
in Chattanooga.
yeah.
Or is that Georgia?
I don't know. It's close to Rock City. I don't know. I should know. I went there.
I think Rock City's Georgia.
Yeah, but they claim Chattanooga. That's what it is. So Fairland's in Georgia. Yeah.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. Everybody claims Chattanooga, right here.
Okay, so you were living in Flintstone at the time?
Yeah, I lived on the mountain at the time then, Lookout Mountain, which I think it was still part of Flintstone.
Okay. All right, so it's right there.
Yeah.
It's the other border city.
Yeah. So I went to Fairland Elementary. I went to Chattanooga Valley Middle until about not even halfway into the 7th grade, and I had the option to either go to alternative school or something else. So
They weren't going to send you to high school.
oh, mom, and everybody took me out. I went into homeschool. I'll put quotation marks on that.
In 7th grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually became a carpenter at that age. So
So it was either, so they took you to homeschool and then they're like, all right, time to start working.
yeah. Well, basically, because I wasn't doing the homeschool, they had the program for me. Grandma went out and bought a whole new computer, and
Oh, no.
yeah, they had this whole program that was all on.
Was it the, first computer in Flintstone, Georgia history?
Probably.
It was like when the Flintstones met the Jetsons.
Yeah.
You want the future to the past.
I remember it was an HP, and it was like exciting to have that. But if somebody called, then you lost your internet and stuff. But yeah. So, but I didn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And then at one point they were like getting on to me about not doing the work, and I'd found out the master password where all the answers were.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah. So finally it was like, I was a very hard-headed kid. So
They're
finally,
like, ain't no teaching this kid.
no. I had a mindset growing up.
Okay, what was that mindset?
Because we this is the South.
Lay it on me.
If you talk back and stuff, you're gonna get your butt whooped.
Okay, yeah, we weren't allowed to talk back to our parents either.
Yeah.
Not even if they asked you a question.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah. So I had a mindset. I was like, as long as I can handle the punishment, I can do whatever I want. So that's what I did. I didn't care if I got whooped or however bad it was. It was like, I can handle it. So.
Oh man, your Connor's gonna hear this, and he's gonna put on that Crocodile Dundee hat and start running around like it's wild Australia.
Connor can't handle it.
Yeah, you hit a lot harder.
Yeah.
You hit harder than your mom, right?
Yeah. So it wouldn't be wise for you, Connor, if you're listening. But
Yeah, take that glove off, or better yet, put that other glove on and calm down.
yeah, I'm not afraid to go back to jail, Connor.
You won't go into that jail for beating your kids. Is still part of Georgia,
Right? Yeah.
It's on the flag.
Yeah. No, but that was my mindset. So they put me in. I started working with my grandpa and my
That's
uncle.
a very engineer of mindset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it paid off for me. I can leave here, go to any state I want to, and find work at any point if I want to.
Or even build the shelter.
Yeah, or I can build a shelter, whatever. But yeah, so I grew up doing everything from electrical, plumbing,
Everything.
framing,
Laying brick.
Yeah, I've done some brick work. I do tile work. I do any of it. If it's on a house or involved with your house or your yard, I can do it.
Okay. Which one What's your favorite to work on?
I prefer like building a deck.
Deck.
Or I like doing trim work, crown mold, baseboard, stuff like
Really?
that.
You like trim?
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually, you know what I enjoyed that I hated the most? Mudding. Drywall mudding.
Oh, God, I hate that.
I
hate
did,
it.
but I had to mud that whole back right there.
Yeah.
That top, you see, because it was like two different where it's dropped, the two ceiling, one dropped, one was up.
Yeah.
And then I had to make a whole, like, make it look like it's one and flat.
And it looks good. You did
Not
a good
bad.
job.
It was so funny. I used so much material the first few days.
Yeah.
And then so little the last 3, and I was getting so much more done. There was
Yeah.
such a big learning curve.
I always say it's not about how good you can mud. It's about how good you can sand.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah, because you could always sand it off.
right. But it does suck to have to
Yes.
sand after somebody who doesn't know how to mud.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
We grew up for a while. I worked with my grandpa. My grandpa worked till he was 80 or 81, and but he got a rule.
And then what happened?
Well, he had dementia.
Oh,
he
all
got
right.
dementia, and so he just stopped working. But he was still physically able.
Oh, okay.
Like all the way up till he passed away last year, he still took care of himself.
Good for him.
Yeah, he still went. We live on a big hill. He still checked the mail. He'd get up and sweep and clean, and he never lost his dependence
Oh, good.
or independence. I guess you'd say.
Independent. He never lost his
Yeah.
dependence.
Yeah.
He was somebody always had to help him out.
Yeah, no, he's whenever he was in his 70s, he'd throw bundles of shingles on his shoulder and walk up ladders. I mean, he was just a,
You had to repair the roof.
yeah. Tony Mullins would have been proud to have him.
Yeah. So you started out working for your grandfather,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he taught you the ways
Oh,
of
yeah.
the wild.
Yeah, him and my uncle. Yeah. And then I did that all the way up until, I'd had stints where it got slow, where I'd take on a little job for a while. Like I worked at Volkswagen for a little while. That sucked. And then,
Okay. That sucked.
yeah, that sucks. You get so used to being free and be able to work whatever hours you want to work. And
Then someone tells you,
yeah.
if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah. So I don't, but I like where I work now. Like, I estimate rebar now. I like that.
Oh, awesome.
So even though Grandpa and everybody, they never taught me anything about rebar, but it's still construction, so it's still transferred over into that.
You've still dealt with rebar. Over
Yeah,
the
and
years.
I'd estimate jobs, so learning how to estimate jobs that way, it translates over to here. So, I basically quit school and learned a trade.
That's good. Good for you. Yeah. Now, what? I heard you were banned from every bus as a kid. What kind of trouble did you get into?
I got any kind of trouble you could on the school bus. Yeah. Yeah. So somebody told you that, huh?
Yeah.
I used to get in fights on the school bus all the time. Matter of fact, at the time I had 3 brothers. My youngest brother wasn't born yet, but at the time I had 3 brothers. And one point, all of us were in the principal's office at the same time the next day over school bus incidents.
For 3 different incidences?
Yeah. So, but mostly getting in fights and acting like an idiot. And then the last straw, I'd been kicked off multiple times. The last straw was I had a bag full of like hickory nuts, and I pegged the bus driver in the back of the head with it. Yeah, it was actually an accident, but I was trying to hit a kid in the head that was behind him, but it hit the bus driver.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he pulled over, immediately stood up. He didn't see it. He immediately stood up and yelled my name.
He just knew.
He knew exactly who it was. But
So you were a troublemaker as a youth.
I was, yeah.
Did you get into a lot of fights?
Yeah, a lot of fights. Yeah.
What was it like running around Flintstone, Georgia? Flintstone, right?
Yeah.
At that time.
It was great. Yeah, it's still pretty relaxed in Flintstone, but I don't know. That's all I did was run around, ride bicycles, and build forts in the woods. And now it's like I'm having to yell at my kids to go outside and do something. But
You're like, Allie, get out there and start playing.
Yeah,
Put
Allie.
the phone down.
go build a fort, Allie.
Yeah, get out there.
Yeah.
Get out of that car and ride the bike.
Yeah. Yeah,
Put the training wheels back on.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we had all kind of bikes, and we'd take other bikes apart, and build new ones, and
then dirt tracks and all that.
yeah.
All right.
So
When'd you move to Ringgold?
I haven't actually lived in Ringgold. I live in Chickamauga, Kensington. My brother lives in Ringgold.
So what's the deal with like Gordy Circle and stuff in Ringgold?
Most of my dad's side of the family lives in Ringgold.
Really?
Yeah. My mom and dad got divorced when I was less than a year old.
Okay.
So a lot of my dad's side of the family I don't even know, unfortunately. But yeah, most of them are in Ringgold, Dalton. And it's funny because I did my genealogy. I've traced all the way back to the Gordy name. I traced all the way back to 1053. But
here.
yeah, but if you look, the first Gordy came over in the 1600s to America, and then they
From where?
From Scotland.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of Scottish.
Yeah. So they wound up settling in Ringgold, and they pretty much owned all of Ringgold.
Really?
Yeah. And I always said I don't know what happened. Like they're all
shambles.
Yeah. Most of my side, like there's some Gordys that I'm related to that are all wealthy and stuff.
Really?
But like my side were just a bunch of regular people. And I'm like, what the heck happened? Somebody probably traded them a 12-pack of beer for their land or something.
Yeah, give you this 12-pack and a mule.
Yeah, I assume it was probably the Civil War or something. Probably broke it all up. Bunch of Yankees.
All right.
Bunch of Yankees.
You're Scottish.
Yeah. No, I don't.
So how many generations lived here then?
From all the way from 16 something it would have been Adrian Gordy was the first one, and then
Adrian.
His name was actually Adrian Gordon in Scotland, and it switched somehow to Gordy over here. So I don't know.
Oh, so do you think the Gordon Fisherman was a Gordy?
yeah. I mean,
in the seas of Flintstone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the name is from Gordon. Our name is from Gordon. So, yeah, there's still very active clans in Scotland.
Really?
Yeah, there's the Aberdeenshire castles and stuff over there.
What do you mean an active clan?
Not the kind of clan that you would think of here. I'm talking about in Scotland.
A Scottish clan.
Yeah, I'm not involved in any clans in the south.
Yeah. The Scottish clan.
Yeah, Scottish clans.
You guys.
They don't wear any white pointed hats or anything like that.
They brought that over to the U.S.
Right. I think they wear kilts. So. Really, I hear a lot of comments about racism in the South. I don't think it's that racist here.
I don't think so either.
I think it's more so of a misconstrued concept.
I think so too.
Yeah, because it's like people. I don't know. I mean, you're going to run into racism anywhere you are.
Yeah.
But most everybody I know, we just treat everybody as on an individual basis. If you're a good person, you're a good person.
Yeah, I didn't think it's that racist. But is there like a clan in Georgia that meets?
Well, yeah. But I imagine they're across the whole country. There's the neo-Nazis and stuff.
Yeah.
Further north you go. But,
yeah, you see a little bit of them too.
Yeah, the skinheads and all that. But yeah, I mean, there are. I know some of them. Like I'm not involved in them. I'm not friends with them.
What are they like? Are they like? Would you be able to tell by just knowing them that they're Klansmen?
Yeah, almost. They're pretty ignorant. People.
You could kind of hear how they're talking. Like, this guy's gonna say something racist.
Yeah, it's like the Bill Burr skit where he's like, whenever somebody starts whispering, he's like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not that you're not going to run into that many, but I do know some. But they're all super ignorant, backwards people,
and that's probably going to die out when they die out.
Yeah.
Like the kids are going to be a little less.
Yeah, like I had some neighbors growing up that were in the Klan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they tried to
convert.
They tried to get me. And I was like, no, I don't.
How did they try to get you? Did they bring by pamphlets?
Yeah, they did. They had pamphlets, and there used to be. Here I am talking about how the South's not racist. Now I'm talking about the Klan and how their neighbor.
They're not racist. But the Klan, after they were done with their hangings, they would stop by for crumpets.
Yeah,
and
dude.
tea. The old Scottish meal.
I'm just saying it's not like it's depicted in Hollywood. Like, oh, if you're going down the South, there's only like small pockets of areas that you wouldn't want to go if you're another race. But it's the same with.
Is it like Whitwell?
It was like parts of Sand Mountain, Alabama,
or Dayton, Tennessee.
Maybe some parts. For the most part, it's relaxed.
Okay.
Like but myself, I wouldn't want to walk through like Compton or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I look at it like racism kind of goes. There's
Yeah,
pockets
it's both
of
ways.
everywhere.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, it goes both ways, and it's like they say Asian people are usually racist towards other Asian people.
Yeah.
Like different countries, they just beef within themselves.
Right. Yeah. One of my best friends in the Army was Hmong, Hmong. And they're all like coming to America and been fleeing into America and stuff for years because the Chinese are killing them out, like genocide. You don't hear about it really, but that's happening in China. They're trying to kill out all the Hmongs.
They tried to do that with what's it called? Tibet.
Oh yeah, yeah. They just kill out all the I guess they're natives and stuff.
Yeah, didn't the Dalai Lama flee from China?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did and went to India.
Oh.
And that's where they all went.
Yeah.
But he's painted as a hero, but he was a cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just funny that people didn't realize. They said the living conditions. So watching a special that was basically no one's holier than thou because Gandhi was racist.
Yeah.
And his son was on it speaking about how Gandhi was racist. His dad was racist because that's how Indian people were back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Gandhi didn't favor African American or Africans.
Yeah.
There, it's not African American.
Right, yeah.
He didn't like black people.
Yeah.
That's what his son said.
Well, then I won't mention their names, but I had a friend from Texas that's Mexican, and his family is involved in the Mexican mafia and stuff. He was involved in the Mexican mafia. But he said the most racist people to them were Mexicans. Like if they went from Texas into Mexico because they were born in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah. He said it's like way worse than anything they ever experienced over here is from Mexicans.
It's funny. I lived with a family, all Mexicans, but they thought they were Italian for the longest time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, oh, we're Mexican. We're just whitewashed.
Yeah.
That's what he called. That was the term he used for himself and his family.
Yeah.
He's like, we only speak a little bit of Spanish. Well, he spoke, but he said that was the term, and it's really only a border apart. He was paler than I.
Yeah.
His sisters had blue eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Well, he was like full-blooded Mexican, but which I'm a tan person, but he was whiter than me.
Yeah.
Most people then would think that I was Mexican because I was always working outside and I was always dark and I typically have my head shaved. And
you know what it is? The big thing that they wouldn't like, the Mexicans who still lived in Mexico, if you were Mexican and you couldn't speak Spanish.
Yeah, and he couldn't speak Spanish.
That's like the ultimate letdown.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that too, though. Like,
it's like,
you forgot your people.
Yeah, you sold your heritage out.
Yeah. That's one thing I learned from the Army, though. Like, things that you don't think about here, living in Georgia or different places. All the terminology that you use that you don't consider racist is just terminology. Like, I didn't know, like, saying, you want to buy something like, oh, Jew him down.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was considered a racist term. Like, people are like, I said that to a Jew. I had a friend that was a Jew. Well,
was he offended?
Oh, he was extremely offended.
What a fake Jew.
Yeah, Busby, if you're listening, I know you're not. But he was extremely offended, and he was also extremely offended if you didn't know what the hat was on his head.
The yarmulke,
yeah, the yarmulke. But then also, I learned that you never ask an Indian to do a rain dance.
Yeah.
You know what? To me, I was just having fun. I had no idea that he was going to be so upset about that. He was like, I don't do that, but my people do. And, he was so offended.
They really do a rain dance.
Yeah.
That does exist.
Yeah. It was like 100 degrees in Oklahoma, and we're out, and it's super dry out there.
You're like, when'd you do a rain dance?
Yeah, I was like, come on, can't you do like a rain dance for us or something? I didn't mean any harm, but he found it extremely offensive.
And he's like, can't you get a jug out and play the Star Spangled Banner?
Yeah, yeah. Bobby was over here like, oh, God, I'm going to have to edit some of this out.
No, we don't get a big... Spotify's going to cancel us. They're going to stop taking my money to put this on for easy listening.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's terms that you hear all the time that I never considered them racist, But
usually Jewish people got a pretty good sense of humor.
Well, Busby didn't.
Was he doing that?
And we never really liked each other after that again either.
Yeah. That was it?
Yeah.
Because you said Jew him down.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean anything by it. I just...
it was just a term.
Yeah. It's like one of my daily use terms. I didn't know. But he was kind of a jerk anyways. So.
Yeah. So fuck him.
But...
So, where were we? I got lost.
I don't know. I've derailed everything. I
derailed everything. Where were we? Help me find my spot, Bobby.
He was asking me about getting kicked off every school bus. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've turned into talking about rain dances over here. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not racist.
I think we're still on your youth.
Yeah.
So what's a holler?
A holler is just
like
a pocket.
Yelling?
It's just, that's what I used to say. They're making fun of my wife because she grew up there. I didn't grow up in the holler. I moved to it.
You moved to a holler?
Yeah.
From the mountain?
Yeah. I lived in the valley too. Grandma lives in Flintstone in the valley, and we lived on the mountain. But my wife, she lived in Kensington, Georgia, Chickamauga, and it's right there where Lookout Mountain and Pigeon Mountain meet. So it's kind of down in a hole.
So that just means where the rain collects.
Yeah, basically.
Right?
Yeah. It's
hollers get flooded too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, mine doesn't. Part of it does. Part of it does, yeah.
But it's only sometimes. Only when it rains.
Yeah. But it's it's kind of like down in a pocket, It's just
okay, so it's a valley.
Yeah.
All right. So in the West Coast, they're like the valley, and here they're like down at the holler.
Yeah. And if you look, most road signs will spell it hollow, O-W, but we call it holler.
Oh, hollow.
It's actually a hollow. If that makes it make any more sense.
It makes sense
Yeah.
because it's like hollowed out and rain could get caught.
Yeah, but we call it holler. It's a holler.
So speaking of racism, do you get offended when people do stereotypical Southern accents?
No, I love it.
I
don't get offended by much.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, and if I do get offended, I don't think that it matters. You
don't have such a sharp accent. Like it's a little like it's more charming.
Yeah,
it's not like that. Y'all get the kids to the minivan. We gotta get to McDonald's before breakfast shuts down.
Whenever I was in the Army, it was the thing that made me stand out the most was my accent.
You were in the Army?
Yeah. 2007 to 2010.
2000.
Well, 2000, right before 2010. But yeah, it was. I tried to stay low, keep my profile, like going through basic training and stuff. And everybody's like, you don't want to stand out, be the middle guy and all this stuff. And my drill sergeant, we were bore sighting our M16s, and you had somebody else that was holding a piece of paper. So you got a laser that's in the bore of your rifle, so you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were boar hunting.
Oh no, that would be fun.
In the middle of things, and they're like, "He's definitely from the South. We're doing drills. He's boar hunting."
Yeah. Well, they'd already
in his hunting gear.
Right. Yeah, they'd already picked up on my accent pretty good. It was funny because my drill sergeant was Puerto Rican, so I thought, oh, why are you making fun of my accent? Nobody can understand what you're saying. Like we do the workouts, the mountain climbers, he called them the Montana climbers. The Montana climbers. And everybody, but I was telling the guy that had the paper, because I'm laying down with my M16 there, and I said, move it to the right just a hair. And he was like, move it to the right just a hair. And after that, it was like the whole rest of my time, that's all they did was make fun of my accent. And they said that every day, and I got called out. Everything I said was people picked at.
Yeah, but did that also, since they were picking at you, meaning they probably liked you, did that necessarily mean the more push-ups, or like because they like you, you kind of just got razzed on your accent, and then like on to the next thing?
Yeah. Mainly, that was pretty much all I dealt with. Negative was just my accent getting ragged, and that doesn't bother me.
It's not negative.
No, it's not negative. To me, it wasn't. I got a kick out of it.
Because it's just pretty much like high school locker room. Or
Yeah.
you didn't go to high school, but in high school locker rooms, they all just pick on each other. At least I was in wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's the only way I know how to show my love.
Yeah, I actually did go to high school a couple times.
You tried it out.
Yeah. I dropped out 3 times.
Did you technically drop out of carpentry to
Yes.
try high school?
Yeah, I got sick of working.
You carpentry dropout.
Yeah. I dropped out of trade, carpentry trade. Yeah, it was like they had it listed that I'd been doing homeschool, and really I hadn't.
And and they didn't have the internet. You had the only computer, so they couldn't check up on it. And they're like, "That's the man with the computer."
In Georgia, all you have to do is vouch for them that they're doing it. That's it. There's no checks.
Even now.
Now,
So are the kids doing it?
our kids do. Yeah, Charity's even worked on dual enrollment with Northwestern for college credits and stuff.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
The
so
kids
they.
are going to get I thought they were just doing all their homeschooling here.
No, yeah, they're right here on the mats.
Hey, bring them to the gym.
That's why I keep telling them, like, this is a college degree. This is a college degree.
Black belt could
Yeah.
be considered one.
Yeah. So all you had to do was, and it was all by paper. They just had to, they'd get a calendar, I think is what it was, and they just check off that I did the school's work those days, and they'd mail it in, and that was it. There's no checks, no standardized tests or anything. So whenever it came time to go to high school, I was like, I'd kind of like to check that out. I got sick of working a little bit.
Yeah, right.
So I went for about the first 3 weeks or so. I done okay, and then I got in a couple fights, and then I got out of school again. And then the next year, I was like, I'd kind of like to try that again. So I did that 3 times. I went into the 9th 3 times.
Did you know anybody going into high school?
Not really.
No, not one bit.
No, I knew a couple people, but they all had their own cliques already. Because I done my elementary school at Fairland, and most of the people I went to elementary school with went to middle school in Dade County, and I went to Walker County.
Okay.
And then I didn't stay long in middle school, so then whenever I got to high school Ridgeland merges with Rossville, Chattanooga Valley, Rossville, and any of the other.
How big of a high school was? Like, how many kids were in your freshman class or whenever you went?
In my class, probably, I don't know, 25, but there would have been 2 or 3 of them, I guess.
Okay, so it's rather small. So the whole high school probably had about 200 people at most.
Maybe more.
Maybe more.
I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't
I'm just trying to get still small town. Now, right?
But it's a merge of Rossville and the Valley. And
okay.
So it's decent size, I think.
Okay.
But I wanted to do sports, but then you can't do sports when you're staying in trouble.
Yeah.
So then I never even got the opportunity to. I think if I would have, I might have stuck it out. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you also? Was it also a hurdle going from working to then going to school? Like, were you not already were you mentally somewhere in a different mindset than the rest of the kids?
I think
school?
so. Yeah.
Because they've been only going to school and they only know how to act in school.
Yeah.
You were on job sites with men.
Yeah.
And also weren't in that school environment. So they kind of, let a rooster in the hen house.
Yeah, really, because I I didn't even like kids my age.
Because you didn't probably know how to communicate with them
Yeah.
because you weren't, right?
Yeah, but I always hung around
Not in
with
a bad
adults. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was always with adults. I didn't really like kids, and I didn't take any crap from anybody. But I also didn't want to. Like in my mind, I wanted to be that person at the time. Like if you said something, like if you insulted me, then my reaction was to just hit you.
Yeah, because that's fine on the job site.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way we were raised. So
Well, that's not. I don't think that's a bad way to raise.
yeah, like
It'll teach somebody to shut up.
yeah. Well, I mean, even I remember Mom used to tell me, she was like, if somebody hits you and you don't hit them back, then you're gonna get a whooping when you get home.
Yes.
and stuff. Or if you get in a fight and you don't win, you're gonna get beat again. Stuff like that. Which I don't. Nothing like that ever happened, but that
Yeah,
was
because you always swung first, asked questions later.
Yeah, well, then that was the other side. I get told if you even think somebody's going to hit you, go ahead and hit them first. Because a lot of times that's the most important strike is the first strike.
Yes, because I heard an interesting one there. It's always been like, don't hit unless they hit you. Well, if any punch could knock you out, if you were the second one to go,
Yeah.
then you're just lost.
You might not get a shot.
So waiting for them to hit you is kind of a dumb idea because you're already going to be one shot less.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would hit people for anything. And to give a shout out to my brothers here, Michael and Nick. Their last name is Gay. G-A-Y. We have a different dads. So my last name's Gordy. Their last name's Gay. And Mom would tell us, like, don't let anybody pick on your brothers because of their name. So we wouldn't, like, I could go do anything I wanted to. I could get in a fight, and I got in fights all the time. And I could tell Mom, like, they was making fun of Michael. And she'd be like, well, did you win? So it was like, I was constantly kicked out of school.
She was like, go fight him again if they were making fun of Michael.
Yeah, yeah. We could just say that. Me and Alan, we could just say something like that, and we were fine. So Michael and Nick were the sports players and stuff. I only played rec. I played a little basketball and baseball all the way up till I was about 13, I guess.
What about Alan?
Alan, he stayed in trouble quite a bit too. He got into taekwondo and stuff. I went a couple times. I didn't really like taekwondo.
Okay. Is the instructor still around?
It was the same one that Dave went to.
Oh, no kidding. Did you
Yeah.
see Dave there?
No, not that I remember. His I guess they called him Master Chew over here. But
yeah.
I had this whole authority complex, and I was not about to call somebody master. I was like, I'm not.
Bow to them.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I was like, so I thought it was the gayest thing ever. I was like, I'm not.
Right, fair enough. Why are we all in this costume?
Yeah, but I went. But the whole thing is, I signed up once and went for about 2 weeks, and then I got so sick of it. I was like, this sucks. So I left. It was cool. I mean, they got some good kicks.
Yeah.
I thought the punches were pretty gay, but then I quit doing it.
Okay.
And I think Alan had become he'd left Chews and went to another guy's. I forgot the name. It was also right over here in East Ridge.
Swallow.
Yes, probably.
You go to Master Choose first, then you go to Master Swallow.
Yeah, but
Then you finish with Grandmaster Digestion.
yeah, Alan convinced me to come back and like go with him sometimes. But at that time, he was only going on the sparring days. It was like, I went a couple times, and then like the third time I went, they put me with this girl to spar with. I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna hit a girl. Like, I think I was like 14 or 15. He's like, I'm not gonna hit a girl. He's like, just go have fun. You're not trying to kill her. I was like, I'm not hitting a girl, and she kicked me so hard, like below the belt. I had to go check myself in the locker room, make sure everything was still there.
So you hear that, Brianelli, your father lost to a girl.
Yeah, I did. Well,
said,
I wasn't
I'm not
hitting
going
her.
with this girl that she kicked his speed bags.
Yeah,
on
she probably did that on purpose because she was offended that I didn't want to go with her.
Yeah, you thought you were the king of the holler.
No, we did get in a lot of fights. Me and Alan, we fought with each other a lot too. But
Did you and Alan get into trouble a lot?
yeah, all the
growing up?
time.
Was that like you guys were partners in crime?
Yeah. One of the times I got kicked off the bus, there was a kid that was older than me and Alan, and he'd been giving all of us a hard time. So we devised this plan before we got on the bus, and it was actually Alan's plan. He was my older brother. So he said,
I'm sure this was a genius plan.
"Oh, it was a
good one.
It was a good one. It was like as soon as we get on the bus, when we walk past him, I'm gonna grab the back of his shirt and pull it up over his face." He said, "I'm gonna start kneeing him in the face, and you start elbowing him in the top of the head." And that's what we did. As soon as we walked on the bus all normal. As soon as we got where he was, the kid was already sitting down. Alan grabbed his shirt. It worked out just like we said. He pulled it over his face, and we just beat the crap out of that kid. never had a problem out of him again, though.
Oh, he was giving you guys problems.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah, never gave us another problem. But, yeah, he got his.
That's
It was
awesome.
probably a little bit too brutal, but, you know.
Yeah, you took care of it. He never picked on you guys again.
No. Yeah. It was funny, though.
You guys were like a bunch of feral cats going at him.
We really were. It was pretty wild.
You guys were just running the street.
Yeah.
Don't pet that cat.
Yeah.
It bites.
Yeah, and it was funny because it was like neither one of us knew how to like really throw an elbow or a knee, but you know you'd see it on the movie or something. So, but whenever you're that age and it worked out just fine.
It just worked out just fine.
Yeah, yeah,
It was about the time Mighty Ducks were out and they were pulling shirts over the head.
yeah. It was probably where we got the idea.
Yeah, pull it over and punch him in the stomach.
Yeah, pulled the back of his shirt right up over his face. And we probably beat him for 15 or 20 seconds that way before the bus driver stopped it. So, I mean,
The
like,
bus driver had to pull over first.
yeah. So it was fun. It was funny, you know.
Don't mess with those Gordy boys.
Well, we did take up for ourselves. But I always knew, though, I liked to fight. I loved fighting growing up. But I always knew, because I'd watched UFC 1. Like, I saw that on VHS and stuff. And I always knew, like, there was a difference between somebody who liked to fight and somebody who actually can fight. So, I never was one of those people who are like, well, in the streets, there's no rules.
I
and
see red, bruh.
Yeah. No, I always knew, like, oh, there's levels. There's levels. So,
You're like, we're just tearing up the ringgold circuit.
yeah. I would have never attempted to jump on somebody, you know.
Yeah, it's like, I might go in the dirt track
Yeah.
in Rossville, but I'm not taking that car to NASCAR.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I realized that. I was never dumb about it.
I just wanted to say that analogy.
I was never dumb about that. But I did like to fight.
So did you, were you a fight fan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
So
used to
you
watch.
watched UFC 1, and then you're like, I need to see all of these.
Yeah. Yeah. My uncle would buy them. Or, I don't know
The
if he.
pay-per-views? Or
No,
you just
the-
get the tapes?
The VHS tapes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if he bought them or borrowed them or how he was getting them at the time, but I remember watching Hoist Gracie, and that's where I first learned about jiu-jitsu.
A funny story. I hate to cut you off. We'll get back to it. But what everybody said, what got you into fighting? What got you into fighting? What made you want to do this? It was old VHSs, and they would advertise the UFC. It's like, I want to do that. And then I wasn't like allowed to watch it or anything.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it's too brutal. They bite, do this. Dad would yell at me, say, you can't do that. That's just too brutal.
Yeah.
And he'd get mad for even saying that. And then now it's like, what made you want to do this? It's like, I saw advertisements on a VHS. Never saw the UFCs, but I saw the advertisements and I was sold.
Yeah. Well, I was sold on it, and I always wanted to do something. I tried to get my mom to sign me up for boxing, and she would not sign me up for boxing. And Alan was signed up for Taekwondo, but I just did not like Taekwondo. I was like, I wanted to box. I wanted to kickbox. She wouldn't sign me up for anything like that. And
Even though like karate is like kind of like kickboxing.
Yeah, I never even thought about karate, to be honest. Even though I
Or
wasn't.
taekwondo.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah, Right, like Alan would go do those tournaments, and there was people that would get knocked out occasionally and stuff, catch a spinning back kick to the head or something.
Yeah, like walked in and caught it.
Yeah, so it was, but she wouldn't let me do it because evidently my dad, he boxed some as a teenager and stuff.
Bare knuckle.
Yeah, he went to some. He always said he's Golden Gloves boxer, but everybody's
a Golden Gloves boxer if they entered a tournament.
Okay, I'm gonna say it seems
It's
like
an amateur tournament.
like everybody you talk to says, "Well, Golden Gloves boxer." It's like I don't even know what that is.
Do you have
anymore.
the actual Golden Gloves? That's
Right.
what I say. There's like Golden Gloves champ, and then there's the Golden Glove box.
Oh, okay, yeah. So anybody can enter in, or
Well, also like back in the day, like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, there was only one Golden Gloves champ for each weight class. There wasn't divisions.
oh,
Now Golden Gloves got novice division, beginner division, and plus weight classes that switch every 5 pounds.
yeah,
So now to be a Golden Gloves champ, it wasn't different than when you would win them. Like my grandfather was a Golden Gloves champ, got actual Golden Gloves,
yeah. That's cool.
1946, and it was in Madison Square Garden where they did the big fight.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And boxing was brutal then too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he fought somebody who fought for a professional title, I think a huge WBC title,
Yeah,
because he beat up the amateur champ. The next time he came to town, they put the champ in as they gave him a fake name, and they had a prize fight. And he said after getting beat up so bad, he had to take a knee. And it's like, this is over.
yeah, yeah.
He said at one point, his corner said to him in between rounds, "You're doing good out there." He says, "I don't know." He said, "You better watch the ref because somebody's beating me up."
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a little bit of boxing history from
Yeah.
what I've known through tales.
Well, there was some boxing gym, a local boxing gym somewhere. I don't know if it was Dalton or here. I was younger. My dad had
Probably Dalton.
Yeah, my dad knew the guy because he said that was his boxing coach. So he had called for me and got the prices and talked to the guy, but Mom wouldn't let me do it. She wouldn't sign me up. And looking back, I don't know so much that it was that she was worried about me boxing as much as it was we already had Michael and Nick in baseball and basketball and Alan in taekwondo. And then she's like telling me, "Oh, go do taekwondo." I'm like, "I don't want to do taekwondo." And then you're doing 4 different sports and
Can I drop you all off in one place?
yeah, so it might have had something to do with that. But she was always like, "Oh, your nose will get flattened out and all this stuff." And
What
you'll
about-
get punch drunk?
What about also like you were also fighting all the neighborhood kids?
Yeah, yeah, that was okay.
Let's not teach you to punch correctly.
Right? Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. You think you know how to punch, and then you come in here and you realize that you're an idiot. It was like, oh god, I've been doing it wrong for 35 years.
How'd you guys find us?
Facebook.
Really? Facebook advertising?
Yeah, yeah. I always wanted to go somewhere, and I didn't feel like there was anywhere legit in this area. No offense to anybody listening to this, but
Yeah, I don't think any of the competition listed.
yeah. But I didn't think that there was anywhere legit. And whenever I saw your Facebook ad, it just happened to be that I was staying at Grandma's at the time because Grandpa just passed away, and we were staying and taking care of Grandma. And she only lives 10 minutes from here. So I saw the Facebook ad, and then I looked your name up and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this is a legit gym." So I had to come check it out, and I fell in love with it. So
Alan came first, didn't he?
no, he came with me.
He came with you.
Yeah, I called Alan and told him about this place, and then we came out together and joined together.
Good.
Well, I think we probably paid at a different time, but we came to check it out and done our free week at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. Well, shoot. Yeah, it's almost. When did you guys join? I think it was February, March.
yeah, February, last of February.
Last of February. I think
Yeah.
you guys officially joined beginning of March.
Yeah,
Trying to think. I think Colton was here already.
Colton was here. At the time, it was
Broderick?
Colton. I think I beat Broderick here.
Maybe.
Yeah, or I remember being here
I think he
before I
was more-
seen Broderick,
maybe.
but it might have been that he just was on a different
Yeah,
schedule. than me.
Broderick.
And then Owen.
Owen.
Yeah, Owen was here. Gus was here.
Gus. He's gone. Owen's
Jake
gone.
Liddell.
Jake Liddell. Yeah. Trying to think who's still here. Eric.
Eric. Yeah, Eric was.
Eric's
was
still here. He just doesn't like that it's a little too hot in here.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who all was here at the time. It's kind of gotten muddied in because there's so many of us that was here within a month or so of each other.
Still here, I would say, right now, longest running member is Andrew Stuckey, who curly-haired purple belt who trains at Veritas too. He's long, and then Kennedy's.
Yeah, the
Paul.
Kennedys were here.
Colton, Dave Yap.
Yeah, Dave was here.
Yeah, I think that's like the first of who was super, super early.
Yeah.
Eric, Andrew, the Kennedys.
Montana.
Yeah,
Montana.
Of those who are still with us.
Oh, I didn't know Montana's status. Yeah.
He's like Houdini.
He's
vanished.
MIA at the moment.
He's MIA.
Get back in the gym,
Get
Montana.
in the gym.
Yeah. But that was, I loved it. And I don't know if you remember, but I threw up my first 6 classes.
Yes, you did.
But
You're like, when do we get to lift the weights?
yeah, I was about 30 pounds heavier. So,
Yeah, you're much lighter and much less of a chest muscle.
Yeah, all I did was lift weights, and my favorite thing to do is bench press.
So does it like hurt your feelings? You can't bench as much?
A little bit. It does.
Really?
Whenever I go to the gym, it does a little bit. But I can still bench decent.
What are you benching?
I haven't benched in about 3 weeks, and before that it was about a month. But I still went in there and done my working set with 315. So
315. What do you weigh?
I'm a 225 at the moment.
You 220. You got to get down to 215.
Yeah.
Because what were you before you came in here?
250. My biggest was 254.
And then what were you lifting?
420 on bench. 420. I could squat about 600 and deadlift about the same. Which is not, that's not that impressive on a deadlift. I know guys that can deadlift 700-800 pounds.
The problem is you're deadlifting and being negative. You go to a live lift.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Being so negative, Chris.
Yeah.
Put that smile on and lift that weight with your spine.
Yeah. Well, my biggest issue was my shoulder. And since I've been coming
Don't
here.
worry, you got another one.
Yeah. Since I've been coming here, my shoulder has improved tremendously. I was having to get the cortisol shots in my shoulder because of the bone spurs.
From lifting, probably.
Yeah, probably. And my range of motion sucked flexibility wise.
Is it any better?
Yeah.
It's not better. Good.
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me I've got the most flexible shoulder when they try to umflata me.
Oh, look at that. That stretch Armstrong?
Yeah, I think it's just because so many people have forced my arm to stretch. But, it's been way better. It hardly ever bothers me anymore. Used to, my hand would go numb, like all the way in my hand, all the way up. It would pull my neck.
Yeah, that has to do with the neck.
Yeah, and they said it was because the spurs, the bone spurs, are rubbing the nerve that goes from the neck down your arm.
They said you were too big of a person, and now that you have these little problems, it's just more of you to affect.
The orthopedist did tell me, he said, you need to quit lifting heavy and start, if you like exercising, just start running. I thought, I don't want to do that.
Running's bad for you, too.
I don't want to run.
Running's impact.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad for your knees over time.
It is, and back, and lower back.
Yeah, so I like lifting. I could still lift about 3. I think last time I did it was like 375, something like that.
Next time you want to lift, we'll have you move the vending machine around.
Yeah.
Functional training.
Yeah, we can do that.
So have you ever been to a cockfight down in Georgia?
I can't say. No, I've seen them. I know people who do it.
Tell me about it.
It's pretty wild.
It is.
It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah. They probably put the blades on the hooves.
They can on the spurs and stuff.
The spurs.
They can. You can see where they'll put blades, and they make training boxing gloves that you can put on their spurs to keep them from getting injured in training and stuff. But some of those people are so dedicated, and they have so much money on the line. There's big money in chicken fighting. Like some of them bet thousands of dollars on it.
What do they weigh?
I don't know, 6, 7 pounds, I guess. Well, some of them probably 10, 12 pounds.
What are they, like shooting them with steroids?
No, but they have their special blends.
They're not. I thought Tyson fucking shoots them with
Yeah, that's the
steroids.
ones that you eat.
Yeah, but they're not doing that to the...
Yeah, they might. I don't know. They
I feel
might.
like you would.
They could be. But like I know a guy, he fed his chickens special food. He'd mix the same kind of, you'd get chicken scratch, but he'd also mix dog food in there, and then also leftover like meat and stuff. And like he'd feed all of his other chickens just regular chicken scratch and stuff. But his fighting chickens, they got,
They got the primo.
Yeah.
Feeding them motor oil and Red Bull.
Yeah, I don't know, but they fed them what it was a special blend, and they're very secretive. They're very secretive of what they feed them, and then it's kind of like your horse you was talking about, horse
My
Gracie.
digital horse?
Yeah.
I don't have to feed that Red Bull, though.
Right, but like you're talking about like the genetics of it and all that. Basically, like they'll take, if they've got good stock, good breed, then they take another something from
Champion chicken.
yeah, and they start their own bloodline, and people will pay $2,000 and $3,000 for a rooster.
Wow.
Yeah, but some people are betting. I mean, you can win thousands and thousands of dollars chicken fighting.
But you got to put up that money to win.
Yeah, and then you might get raided by the feds and stuff.
And then all the people who watch gamble.
Yeah,
Is there odds?
I've never gambled
Like
at
2
one.
to 1 on it. But these chickens fight to the death. These
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
roosters.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying about them being gross is it's not just the fact of the fight itself. It's like they'll get like mucus stuck in their throat and stuff. And some of those people, they got so much money riding on them that they'll suck that mucus out of their throat and stick them back in there. Yeah.
bet.
It's crazy. I mean, but I guess if you got thousands of dollars riding on
I'll
it.
suck the mucus right out for $1,000 and spit it for my champion horse.
Yeah, but I don't get into that kind of stuff. I just have friends that if you're listening, I don't have any current friends that do. No, this is all just for. No, I do know people that do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's big money in it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Where do they do this? What's the address? No, like where is this like back on someone's barn? This usually goes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Usually it's in a barn.
Yeah,
I
it'd
feel
be
like
like a
this is a barn activity on property.
Yeah, kind of. Usually, it'll be like in parts of Alabama, parts in backwoods of Georgia, and places. They'll all get together and meet, and I mean, it's big stuff. Really, you think it's like 3 or 4 people out there having fun, but it's like it's an event.
Wow. Do they sell tickets to it or no?
Nah, I don't. When I went,
If
when I
you
was,
know where it is, you just walk up.
yeah, when I was young, I haven't been to one in years and years, but I still have friends that do it. I never did it. I do raise chickens, but I never did chicken fighting.
Okay.
So
But it's only the males. It's only the roosters.
yeah. As far as I know, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there any other animals that fight? Like snake fights?
If people fight dogs,
Oh, yeah, that's bad too.
yeah.
It's all bad.
I've never been to those. So.
Yeah. We'll keep that one out. Everybody because we could eat chickens.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can't eat dogs here.
I knew people that did that too.
Yeah.
I never
Ugh.
liked them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a horrible thing to get into.
Matter of fact, I knew a guy that did that, and he would feed his pit bull. He'd put a little bit of gunpowder in the pit bull's food because it's supposed to make them crazier.
That definitely sounds like bro science.
Yeah, probably. Probably just killing the dog.
Yeah, let's put some gunpowder in it so we bullet fast.
Yeah, but I don't. I've never been to one of those. I never want to witness one of them, and yeah.
I heard you've been to a backyard MMA fight.
yeah. We host them.
You guys host them?
Yeah, we need to host another one soon.
So, what is your role in these backyard MMA fights?
Usually I ref it.
You ref?
Yeah, I'll ref.
What's
it.
the ref in attire?
Just whatever I have on.
Yeah,
I think
usually it's just pants.
Just pants, no shoes, and no shirt. You know,
How
a couple
many-
goats watching, and
How many fighters you got in this league?
at the moment too.
2. You're looking for new talent.
Yeah, we're looking for new talent. If you're
Who's
listening,
the current champ?
well, the last one ended in a draw, so it's up for grabs.
It's up for grabs. Who were the? So you had the whole stable on it.
Yeah. We're gonna start an intern or not what do you call that?
You're gonna have like your own Tough
Yeah.
Enough,
Yeah, yeah,
where they get the pro wrestlers. And,
right, yeah. If anybody's interested, they can contact you and
okay,
You
we
can
could
throw
get them
in-
on the circuit. So ended in a draw. Who are the two fighters?
Connor and Christopher Gordy.
Do they have any aliases?
Yeah, we got Goat Boy, Chris, and Doghouse Con Man or something like that.
Doghouse Conman.
Yeah.
Now, can Goat Boy Chris concentrate on the fight, or does he just concentrate on his love life?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it hard? Is it get just too distracted, juggling?
I've noticed he's been a little more distracted lately.
That
Yeah.
he's got the goats too. That too.
Yeah, yeah. But at the-
Fighting and the lady.
yeah, yeah,
What's the
And
other
the hair.
one's name? And the hairdo. Yeah.
yeah.
What's the other one's name? Chris.
Connor,
Connor.
Doghouse. I think
Connor
it's,
Doghouse.
I think that's what we called him in the
Now
last one.
he doesn't have to worry about a relationship.
No, not at the moment. If there's any single ladies, he's looking.
He's looking. He's out on these mats, searching.
Yeah,
But he's also distracted by outfits.
yeah, yeah. You know, is the one glove and goofy hats and stuff like
He
that.
doesn't know if he wants to be the con man doghouse or if he wants to be
Yeah,
the Michael Jackson,
Right.
Michael Dundee.
yeah, yeah. Or like a video editor or something. You know, he
Yeah,
likes to do that. But yeah, we need to get another one together. They actually talk about doing it all the time, especially when they
Oh.
get mad at each other.
We got to have him have a match here.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, we could get all 15 chairs out.
Right.
I'll even get chair 16 and back.
We can bet on it too.
We could.
Yeah, but
Oh man, that'd be so great to bring these kids in to gamble on them.
yeah, yeah.
I want to do that so bad. Have them fight, gamble on them. I also kind of want to make odds too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me know when. I'll put them in.
So now all your kids are doing MMA,
yeah,
and your wife.
yeah, yeah.
How is it being an MMA family?
It's fun. It's fun, and it makes it easier on me because I really wanted to do it, and then now that Charity's doing the women's group and stuff, it's like, you know, it's so much easier to get here and not feel guilty about being gone.
Because everybody's got their time.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like Chris and Connor got their time.
Yeah.
Charity's got their time. Now it's your time.
yeah. And Brianna does it all the time.
So she's doing all the classes, so
Yeah.
that's easy. You have
Yeah.
somewhere you could drop her off.
Yeah, and then Allie, she just started her newer job at Smoothie King, but they're going to work her hours out to where she can be here more.
That's good.
So she'll be here more again too.
You were on America's Funniest Home Videos, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
What?
It's probably been 10 years ago.
What happened?
My uncle wanted to borrow a riding lawnmower that I had at the time, and we had my lower end of my yard. You can back down into it and lower the tailgate, and it'll be almost level with the road. So I just drove, and the truck's lifted that I was in. So I just drove the lawnmower right onto the back of the truck, and I drove it to my uncle's house. And then whenever I got there, they wanted to get it unloaded. They're like, how are we going to get it unloaded? And my suggestion was, there was like 5 of us. I said, let's all just grab a wheel and somebody can grab somewhere else and we'll just set it out of here. And they was like, no, that's too heavy, blah, 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 blah. Like there's 5 of us at least. But so they came up with this plan to lay, and my uncle had one of like a little small pull behind trailer, but I didn't have it with me when I picked up the lawnmower. But he came up with this plan, him and somebody else, to lay a piece of plywood from the tailgate of the truck and ramp it down to that trailer. And then from there, you drive it off the trailer. And once they put the plywood on it, they all start fussing over who's going to back it off of there. And I got tired of waiting on it. I was like, I'll back it off, even though it wasn't my idea. And I jumped on the lawnmower, put it in reverse, and I started backing up. And the mower deck got caught on the plywood. So my brother, Michael, he said, he's the one that's filming it too, and he's the one laughing in the video if you ever get to see it on America's Funniest Home Videos. He says, pull forward a little bit. Well, when I pulled forward, the wheels shot the plywood out from under the lawnmower, and the lawnmower stood straight up. I remember looking and seeing the blue skies and the clouds and being like, oh, God, this is going to be bad. And then it just fell on top of me. I fell off the back of the truck with the lawnmower.
On top of you? Did it hurt?
It did hurt. It hurt my hips, but
it hurt my hips.
It did, because I was still sitting in the seated position on it. Like,
yeah. Oh.
So the whole motor, I put one hand on the hood, hoping that I could keep it from smacking me in the face.
It didn't help.
Yeah,
It hit
but
your face.
I don't think it did. I think it actually. But what did help was the plywood. When the plywood shot out, it formed another kind of a ramp the opposite direction, and that gave me a little cushion to my fall. So, and I talked to a lady that did PT I used to work with, and she said she does physical therapy for a man who paralyzed himself in the exact same accident. A lawnmower fell on. He was unloading off a truck. And
With plywood?
Well, I don't know if it was plywood or if he had ramps, but whatever it was, they shot out, and the lawnmower fell with him, and it broke his back. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm just superhuman.
Did you win the $10,000?
No, we were like a tiny clip on there. And what sucked was Michael filmed it, and then he sent the stuff in, and they sent him a T-shirt. Like, he's got an America's Funniest Home T-shirt, and I didn't get anything out of it. I'm like, I'm the one who's on the lawnmower. Why do you have the T-shirt?
You look at these hips.
And Michael, you done a terrible job filming too. He started laughing and he drops the camera. Like, he's like, oh God, he's laughing the whole time before he even knows if I'm hurt or not. But
well, Chris, it's awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for your time. Why don't you give a shout out to your family?
all right, give a shout out to Allie and Bree, Connor and Christopher, and any of you other weirdos that are listening. Charity, I'll give you a shout out. You're killing it. Keep killing it.
There you go. Guys, this is episode 20. Thank you guys for tuning in.